What is happening, webheads? Welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. I'm your host, Mike Spider Slayer, talking about comic books that you're dropping from your pull list. And I'm going to share with you what I'm going to be dropping in the near future, or books that are pretty much on the fence. If you guys love this kind of thing, if you love daily comic book content, you came to the right place. Why don't you consider hitting that subscribe button? Yes, happy Sunday to you. It's a random video day. And I realized that in the past couple of weeks, and someone pointed it out to me, that I had a double haul and I had about 50 something books. And I said, you know what? It's time to make those cuts. And that's what I'm going to share with you guys. Now, at any point in time during the video, whether you like a series, let me know. Whether if you agree with me dropping a particular series, let me know. Just give me all your opinions. I take it all, guys. The good, the bad, the ugly, whatever the case may be. Okay, so let's get started here, all right? So let's talk about some of the books that I'm probably going to drop or really on the fence about dropping. And one of them is always been Wonder Woman, right? Wonder Woman is a hit or miss for me. I feel like when it comes to Tom King's run, it's like a love-hate thing for me. Like, some of the issues are really good. The artwork is really good. We had this story with the Sovereign going on, and my friends told me, Mike, you need to really read this particular comic book again. And I did, and I loved issues 8 and 9, and then 10 just felt out of whack for me. Maybe I just didn't get what was going on. And from what I was told in the comments below, because of Absolute Power, this break is kind of like on a hiatus for right now. If that is true, let me know in the comments below. Again, the book's story is interesting. The artwork is always great, but it's always a book that really is on the fence, and I don't know ever what I'm going to do with it. So I want to know in the comments below, what are you guys thinking about Wonder Woman right now? All right, next book is World's Finest. So we have Batman, Superman, World's Finest. This book has always been really good. Lately, though, I'm not into the whole Batmite type of stuff. And I know that, what is it, Mark Waid and Dan Mora are doing other things, right? Are they continuing with this book going forward? That I'm not 100% on. I haven't heard anything about it. Overall, this has been one of my favorite series. I want to know if you guys are just as excited reading this book as it was when it first came out, right? This is the one and only story arc that I'm just not into. So, yeah, there's that one. All right. Now, not ever going to drop this book, but I just want to know your guys' thoughts on Batman. We just got done wrapping up Batman 149. We're getting ready for Absolute Power. But this is another book that hasn't been that great for a lot of people. But for me, I thought most recently it picked up. I'm not dropping Batman. All right. So how about the Blood Hunt tie-ins at this point? Well, I feel like when it comes to the Blood Hunt tie-ins, I'm definitely vested into them. And I'm not going to drop the ones that I already started. Because what will happen is when I have one of my yearly garage sales, what I'll do is I'll just sell them and people will have a set to buy. So like Dracula and some of all the other stuff that's been going on, right? But what do you guys think of the Blood Hunt event in itself? Did you guys stop reading it? Are you still reading it? I think it is a mid-event, missing something. It just seems so segmented, right? I don't know. It just kind of popped out of nowhere, and I think it's just going to end out of nowhere. But it's not horrible either, so I don't know. It's one of those things. But are you still reading Blood Hunt? All right, here's another one. Spider-Woman issue 8. I just got done reading last week. We had Spider-Woman who's going off a Hydra. She's doing battle against the Assembly here, and the Assembly is a new group of superheroes that doesn't seem like what they really are, right? And this story has not been as strong as past Jessica Drew stories. I was really on the fence about this particular comic book until this particular issue came out, and it seems like the story is starting to heat up once again. So I'm going to stick with this one. This one was definitely very close to being dropped. Sensational She-Hulk. Not going to drop this at this point, but I did talk about it, and I think I missed out on one issue. We have one more issue to go, and the series is all done. If you had a particular writer with She-Hulk, is there someone that you would like to write the character again? Here's a fun one. Amazing Spider-Man I will never drop, because obviously you guys know I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I've read Spider-Man since like 298, 299. That's when I was like a kid, right around that Todd McFarlane time. We got really heavily into it when Eric Larson was on the book, Mark Bagley, and then from there on out. So when it comes to Amazing Spider-Man, no matter how bad it is, and no matter how bad I'll rag on it, right, I'll always read it. It's just a book that I love to read, whether it's good or bad. So, you know, is it upsetting at times to see the downfall of your favorite character? Yeah, absolutely. But I'm with it through the good and through the bad. It's like the Miami Dolphins, man. The Invincible Iron Man, right? Right now we're on issue 19. Not dropping it at this point. It's got one more issue to go as well. All right, here is a book that I think I'm going to drop. Joshua Williamson is leaving the book, and it's Batman and Robin, right? We just got done with issue 10. We had this whole Man-Bat storyline going on forever. We had this flatline thing going on, and I liked her. But I just don't think the book has ever had real clear direction. And I feel like this is like one of Joshua Williamson's books where he was just like, this is not that important to me compared to all the other stuff I'm writing. And I feel like it showed. It was really drawn out. It was kind of like his independent book that he just got done wrapping up, the amusement park book, right? It was a good book. It just took him forever to tell the story that he wanted to tell. Kind of felt the same way with this one. So no matter what, unless it's a really good writer that's taking this one over, I think I'm going to be dropping it. So this basically is the stack that I pretty much read for the entire comic book week. That's a lot of freaking books. I think there was like a total of like 30 books that I read for this comic book week. And this book is ending. This is Wolverine Madripoor Nights issue 5. So this is the last issue of this. So that one goes away, right? X-Men Era of Apocalypse. This book here, this is a book that's actually halfway decent. If I get a chance to talk about it a little bit more, maybe I will on after the poll. But this has been a fun X-Men read, so I'm not going to drop that. I think that's actually good. Creature from the Black Lagoon, all right? There's only one more issue with this, so it's coming to an end very shortly, so obviously I'm going to continue that. Ultimate Black Panther, this has been a good series. That's not going anywhere. Redcoat, right? Pretty good series. Definitely going to keep reading this one. X-Men 97, this was the final issue of this, so by default, this one is no more. We have, again, the Moon Knight issue 6, The Vengeance of Moon Knight. This has been a good series. Even with the tie-ins, it's been a fun read. So this book is not going nowhere. Doctor Strange, Blood Hunt. Okay, so a lot of the Blood Hunt stuff, like I said, is a book, you know, that they're books that I have been reading, and some of them have been good, some of them have been not so good. This one I'm not enjoying. I never read Doctor Strange before Blood Hunt, so I'm not going to be continuing this book. Wolverine, listen, I'm a fan of Benjamin Percy and all the stuff that he did. I love the character that he created here, but this story is just not for me. I will not be continuing Wolverine. Something is Killing the Children is a absolutely awesome book. It's a book that I will always read through its completion, so that book is not going nowhere. Spectacular Spider-Man. This book, I think, is going to be dropped. Is it sad these days that the Spider-Man books are starting to become my least favorite comics? Like, there's no need for all these different Spider-Man books when you can't even write the main one the right way, right? This one is just so weird and all over the place. I don't know if I'm going to give this one another issue or not, but this has just been my favorite story. So I don't know. I'm really on the fence about this particular one. So we'll see. Ghost Spider, or Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider. After reading 2 issues of this one, this one is going to be officially dropped. I do not like this story. I do not like the artwork. I do not like the villain in the book. I don't like why Gwen is in the world. She should just stay in her world. That's what makes her different. That's what I said about Miles Morales. This one will be dropped 100%. Jackpot and Black Cat. I read this book just to see the train wreck happen. This was one of the worst Spider Family stories I've ever read. This story was god-awful, and there was no need for a character by the name of Bandwidth here. There is no need for Mary Jane to be written the way that she was in this comic book, and even Felicia wasn't written the right way either. It's just, this was just a miss, and Paul is a waste of space in Marvel Comics. The guy needs to die. His importance in the comic is getting croissants for the girls and getting a taxi for them to drive. Why are you in this comic, man? Such a bad comic, but by default, that one ends as well. Midnight Suns, right? Another blood hunt tie-in type of story. This one is really good. It's fun. There's not a lot to it, but it's entertaining and it's very horrific. So that one's not going anywhere for now until it does end. The Sacrificers. This book is absolutely phenomenal. This is one that people should get their hands on if they can from the very first issue. Really great story. Book's not going nowhere. Blood Hunt issue 4. Okay, so listen, when it comes to Blood Hunt, it may not be the best story like I said, but I'm going to see its entirety. We only have one more issue to go, and then that one will be done on my list as well. All right, then we got the Blood Hunt, main cover, so we got that. That's going to go away. 2 books right there. Next, we have Action Comics and Superman. These books have been absolutely phenomenal for the past year. We're going to get a new writer on, I think it's Action at this point. I think it's going to be Rainbow Royale. So we're going to get her on there. Will the story continue to be great? I hope so. So Action Comics and Superman, no, not going anywhere for right now. But this House of Brainiac stuff, it's going to be hard to live up to that because that was some good stuff right there. Then right now, I have probably some of my favorite books that are not going anywhere, right? Rook Exodus, I'm going to talk about this one on After the Poll. Probably my favorite comic book, period. Yes, even better than Transformers. And I'll talk about that again on After the Poll, why this is, okay? But this book is special, and we need more comic books like this. Green Arrow, tied to absolute power right now. And Ollie is one of my favorite DC characters next to Hal Jordan. So this guy right now, as long as there's a comic book out with him, it's not going anywhere because we did not have Green Arrow for a long time. Okay, so let's see where we're at here now. We have Void Rivals, not going anywhere. Freaking fantastic series. And then we have Feral, which is another phenomenal series as well. So, based off of these past 2 weeks on books that I'm looking at dropping or ending by default, right? And they're always replaced with new number ones. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 books. But most of them are probably ending. So it's very hard for me to drop books. But some of these books are not all that great. Some of them are average. And it's kind of like, well, when do you make the decision to drop a comic book? So I'm very curious to hear what you guys are going to be dropping or thinking about dropping in the comments below. But I just want to give you an update on where my comic pool list is at this moment and time, because you always got to make room for those new number ones and new series that are coming out. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. And of course, if you love my content, I'll leave you more content right here for you to click on. And as always, support the local comic shops. Keep buying, keep collecting, but always remember, read your comics. Guys, thank you. I'll see you real soon. Bye.